My network is losing money hand over fist, potentially throwing the series into jeopardy already. I need to find new ways to make cash and I need to do it fast. I think I do have a couple of solutions, one that will make a lot of people angry and the other to make them happy again. I just really hope this works, or we could have already reached the end of the line. Hey everyone, it's M4J here and welcome back to Return to Cities in Motion 2 here on Cities in Motion 2. Last time out, we added a new tram line. We also added some water buses and a new bus line as well, somewhere, I think. Did we do a new bus line? I thought we did a new bus line. Maybe we didn't. Oh no, we did. Yeah, around the island here, we did too. We're losing money, hand over fist. I'll probably mention that in the intro, to be honest, because I think that's going to be the main part of today's episode, is how the hell do we stop losing money? If I was to show you the economy tab, we're losing 10 grand at the moment, and I think I have an idea on how to save some money, but not a huge amount. First thing I'm going to do is cut the employees' wages, which I know is incredibly unpopular, and I ideally don't want to do this. I want to pay them all awesome wages. We do need to save a little bit of money. So I'm going to drop the drivers to 8, sorry. The maintenance to 9, and then the inspectors to 10. Now the inspectors can have the highest amount because they do actually make some money back. You can see already I've saved 2 grand doing that. The next thing I want to look at, I mean, ticket prices could go up a little bit, I suppose. Although that does put people off riding. I like round numbers, but I feel like I don't have a choice in that matter. But this up the top here is actually the telltale for me. If I put it back on that so I can see. If I go into this... Actually, I can do it this way. These are my zones. If you think about the tube map in London, you have zones. 1, 2, 3... I think it goes out to like 15 now, but the main ones are 1 to 6. Right now, it's quite rare for someone to actually go between zones, particularly if they just go around this island here or this island here, or peninsula, I suppose, up to this park. They're not crossing zones, therefore we're charging the minimum. So in this case, let's say they stay within one zone but travel entirely by bus, 1.2. Let's call it £1, £1.20. If they just travel on a single line, it's £1. If they travel across multiple forms of transport through multiple zones, through a single zone, sorry, it's £1.50. £3 if they do travel through 2 zones, and then if they travel through all zones, it's £3.80. Although that should be 4. There we go. Yeah, we're not making enough money because of that. So what I want to do is completely redraw the zones. That's the first step. So I'm going to take the yellow here, and I'm going to make everything yellow again, and then we're going to start again. And I kind of want to work on the... I mean, we could be a dick about it, actually, and just have constant, like, bands of zones around stops and basically force people to always be travelling through multiple zones. I don't know if that's the way to go, though. I imagine if TfL tried that, there would be riots in the streets. So, we're not going to do that. But I do want to be clever about it. So I think first and foremost, we're going to have a red zone that is going to be the city centre. And I think the city centre is going to be this island here, and then a little bit of this area here. Probably down to that tram stop there. Where's my bus area? That's there. So I think we're going to try and encompass that too, which will get that tram stop and that tram stop, and probably do this. Okay, there we go. Let me go back to yellow for a second because I just want to trim there. Okay, now we're going to get green. Green's going to be our next area, and green is going to be a circle, if you can call it a circle, around the red zone. And I think one of the problems I've had with this in the past is I've tried to include all four colours once, whereas I think what you actually have to do is do multiple bands. I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. I think this is going to be the green zone. So it's all of the rest of this island, peninsula. I keep calling it an island, it's not. I guess there's a lot of water here as well. But yeah, basically all of this. Then we're going to go for the blue zone. And the blue zone is going to be all of this island. Like this. And then, yeah, we are going to bring it round, just in case. A little bit of this area here too. Kind of something like this. Just keeping an eye on the money as I'm doing this, because I don't want to go... It's a good thing this is free, actually. But I don't want to go bankrupt. Just mapping out zones, because I wasn't watching what I was doing. There. We are going to make this a little bit bigger. I guess what I want to do is encompass all of this area as blue and down like this. Yeah, kind of like that and then like that. Okay. And then this side, yeah, we'll bring it up and around like that. Yep. Then we're going to have the yellow area, which is all of this bit here, as is. And then we're going to have another red area, which I guess here isn't too much of a thing. But essentially all of this. That was a horrendous curve there. Let's try that again. There we are. Actually, no, this is going to be yellow still. So let's cut all this. And then that. And then, yeah, for now at least, we'll just make all of this area red. There's nothing in it, so no one's going to be travelling over here. And it seems a little bit pointless, but let's just do this. Now, I must admit, I haven't played this game for a while, as you all know, but coming back to it, I thought, yeah, I could play in expert mode. I used to play in expert mode all the time, and I used to make tons of money. I think one of the problems is I was a little too methodical and a little too slow. So I'd map out a line, watch it for a bit, map out the next line, watch it for a bit, and meanwhile the money is just trickling down the whole time. So I think what happened there was I was too pedestrian about it, and I wasn't getting enough people moving. And because of that, the money ran dry. That's partially the problem. But this, I think, will help, because we are now forcing people... I say that, it's not doing much right now. And we are in morning rush hour too, so we should be seeing quite a lot of movement. But to be honest, there isn't much. I think part of the problem is we don't have much here in the way of getting people around. We have lots of trams, but we have nothing else. And over here we have a lot of... In fact, have we fully... We've actually mostly fully served this area. Nothing up here though, and nothing round this side, which was one area I wanted to focus on. But now we've got the zones marked out. Even now I'm looking at it and I'm like, is this the smart way of doing it? And it probably isn't. Yeah, I don't know. One thing that bothers me is anyone on this island... They're just travelling within a single zone, and in some cases also within a single line. The tram here is quite good, because it starts off in the green zone, then it goes into the red, then it goes into the green again, then it goes into the blue. So if you start here, and you travel all the way over here... I think these are both maroon line, aren't they? Yeah. You actually travel through 1, 2, 3, 4 separate zones and 5 in total. So that's kind of what this was designed for. But the money again is going down. Well, you know, it's getting worse. It's going further into the red. Expenses are quite high. I think loan interest is one of the big problems, actually. So we've got penalty fares, which are going up. Inspectors cost... As long as inspectors don't cost more than the fares, that's something. We could, in theory, just get more inspectors. So say if I did 100. Now check this. Yeah, I mean that's... What's that? That's 9,000. That helps offset that, and now suddenly this is starting to look a lot healthier. So maybe we just keep bumping up the number of inspectors. So let's try 150, for example. Yeah. That now goes to 10, which offsets that a lot more. That's now down to 3,000. It's a balancing act. Let's just see if I can keep pushing this up. How high can I put this? That was really noisy and not at all annoying. Yeah, let's see, the offset is now starting to drop down again. So I think the sweet spot was around 150. I'll try 200. But I think the sweet spot was around the 150 area. Actually, that's pretty good. We'll leave it at that then. Trams aren't making me a huge amount of money right now, and I think it's because of the limited stops. We don't actually have that many people moving on the trams right now. That's kind of the problem. It is making money, though, and the buses are making money. Why have I got trolley bus maintenance? I don't know what that's all about. Water buses aren't making me any money at all. And then, yeah, the loan interest is absolutely killing me. So I need to find more ways of making money, which I guess I've kind of done. I don't want this whole episode to just be looking at numbers. I do want to start planning out lines as well. So we are going to get onto that in just a moment. I'm just looking as well. If I was to place a bus stop there. Yeah, I kind of want the catchment areas to be bigger on these. It's one of those annoying things. The other thing of bus stops and tram stops don't always have to overlap. Just somewhat overlap every so often. That would be cool. So for example, if I put a bus stop there and a bus stop there, and then the next couple were here and here, now we've got that overlap. And then the next couple could be... I mean, I guess that's an overlap too. But I need these buildings here to be served. Because the aim of this series is 100% coverage. Not necessarily building new neighborhoods or anything like that, but just getting 100% coverage of what we've already got. That would be nice. Now you are technically covered. There's no overlap on the bus stops here, but the buildings are covered by the tram, so we can get away with that. And I think this, it would be cool if we had a east-west type line. I've no idea where you'd terminate, though, across here. And there are plenty of neighbourhoods around here that don't have any coverage at all. But I feel like that's something that a separate line would do. This could be the scope for just a loop line that goes around the island. Because if I put a stop there, and I put a stop there, they do overlap. So every building would be served just by having stops on the outside edge there. I do like the idea of that and that. And then it going onto this island somewhere. But I think for now, what I'm going to do... Pop you there. What's the... Oops, I didn't mean to click there. That's annoying. I don't think I get refunded that, do I? I think there would be the safe one. For a full overlap. Likewise, yeah, this one would be here. And then one under the bridge, because why not? And then another one around here, that interchanges with the tram. And then I guess one here, and I guess one here. Although, I think there is enough of an overlap there, actually. I wouldn't need to do that. So it's a really small, pointless line, this one. But I think it's worth having. I need to get up the old Shades of blue again. To be honest, this could just be navy. There's my desk. Keep hitting it with my chair. This could just be the navy line. Let's start under the bridge. Oh, I start with the depot, of course. There we are. And then go under the bridge. Now, how does it get here? There's a question too. I think it's actually taking this entire avenue. Yeah. It is quite a distance that it has to travel, actually. So maybe for this, I will make sure that you are taking this route. I think we'll start here and go around like so. And then once you're done, you come back. See, look, you take a different route back, which is interesting. Yeah. Which actually, I'm fine with. That's all good. Alright, as for your timetable, again, you're just going to copy from the cobalt line. So that seems to be our thing. It says 8 there. I don't know if it's 8 that we need. We've got 2 out at the moment. I don't know. I don't know. There's a way, isn't there, where you can see... Is it in this game, or is it in the other game? The first one. Oh, no, I don't want that. Wasn't there something where you can see how popular you are with different workers and stuff? Or is that... That must be in the first game, right? 105. There we go. How are we doing now? See, look, it's slipping again. Although these are going up. Buses are making less money. That's making more money now. Yeah. There is a real science to this game, and it's something I never really appreciated the first time I played it. But there is definitely a juggling act. Trying to make yourself popular without, you know, bankrupting yourself and all that. We are going to have to borrow more money, though. I can see that already. Because we are basically broke. Is this a one-way street? Yes, of course it is. Why wouldn't it be? In that case, stop there and a stop there. I guess we could do... I mean, if I did one there... Actually, why... Something else I've got to remind myself is there's no point putting it where it overlaps with water. So if I do one there, and do one here, and then the next one along would be here, for example, or here, and now there's an interchange. Same with this one. Now there's an interchange. Now it doesn't, this one here doesn't interchange with this set of stops, but it does with this set of stops, and that does then make it a little more viable. Likewise, if I was to do one, I'm trying to see the circles, if I do that, I think that's too far away. So if I do it here, and here, we're now interchanging with this line. So it's actually possible now to get from this line to this line, which is also really awesome. And then for the terminus of this line, I mean, it would be nice if there was a tram stop here, but there isn't, sadly. People are smart-ish, though, in this game. They do know to follow. So, like, they'll get off the bus here, they'll get on this line, then they'll go up this way to the tram. So they're not that stupid. I mean, I'm choosing my words carefully here, because I have watched them in the past, and they are incredibly stupid. But they aren't the worst when it comes to wayfinding. I have seen worse, let's put it that way. Yeah, I'm struggling a little bit here. Also, there's this central area that doesn't have any coverage yet, so I will probably put feed another bus line through there. We're also running out of money quite quickly, so I feel like I need to just get this running, and then we can worry about expanding it in the future. Because that's something else we can do, of course, is we can take an existing line and just change it. Right. What colours have I got so far? Cobalt, lapis, azure, sapphire, teal, and navy. We've got sky that we could use, or ocean. Indigo is not a shade of blue. I don't know. I don't know why that's on there. That is not a shade of blue, it's a shade of purple. You could argue that purple is a derivative of blue, but that's still not the same. I'm terrible with colours for the most part. I'm really bad with them. But there are times where, you know, I kind of know what I'm talking about. Alright, is that too far away? I don't think that's too far away. I think that's pretty spot on. Maybe I have too few vehicles running. Maybe I have too many vehicles running. This will be a really interesting one, actually. If you're watching and you're in the comments and you're aware of what is making me lose all this money, by all means, let me know. I say I used to be good at making money in this game, and I thought this strategy would work really well here, but it obviously isn't. So something is amiss. And I'm all ears. If you know it, let me know. Even if you don't know it, you want to have a guess, let me know. Let's get some comments going. Have I screwed this up? Nope, you go around that way, and yep, that's all good. Cool. Right. Let's get you connected up then. We'll name you in a minute. I think the priority right now is getting your timetable in. So yeah, I feel like every 20 minutes here and then every 40 minutes otherwise is fine for a schedule. We are launching a lot of buses at once here, but then we've also got a lot of buses. 8 out of 50 though, that's actually not that many. Yeah. I think one thing we could do at some point is a shortcut. But I don't want to... I like the idea of them using the freeway, the existing infrastructure to get around. That's cool. I enjoy that. Maybe we'll just get cheaper buses. Cheaper vehicles in general. But I don't know how much money I'm going to get back from selling all of these. Maybe we just have to take out a loan. Who knows? What am I calling you? You cut across a few neighborhoods, don't you? So maybe we could use that as part of your... The electric line. Because you surge through the city. That's terrible. Do not put me in charge of marketing. You will go bankrupt. But you know, there are people coming out now. Onto the line already. This one's starting to get popular. It's kind of highlighting a problem though. We're in rush hour and there's only one person waiting at each stop here. And even on the tram, there aren't that many people. I'm sure... I don't know if I can check here, but I'm sure I had the profile that I had created where there's a lot more people living in the city wanting to get around and things like that. But I'm not seeing any evidence of that right now. I think one issue I actually have, and this could be fixed like almost immediately, is I haven't linked up any industry. This is all... There's a lot of offices and stuff. So people working in offices, that's fine. So for example, down here, yeah, office buildings. So people working in offices can get to and from work, no problem. But I don't have any of the industrial areas linked up. And that's probably something that's costing me in terms of ridership. So let's do something about that. And get this area here connected up. I think this will be huge. So one thing I need to do... I can do it here, I think. If I was to put that there and that there, that would connect it up. I could put them underneath as well, I suppose, and then change this road. But I like the idea of it being existing infrastructure again. So let's put a stop there. Oh, and there goes the money. Okay, let's fix that problem quickly as well. Let's just max this out and then... I don't know if you can max this one out. Oh, that's a horrible noise. I hate it so much. I'm basically going to speculate to accumulate here. Wait, what? Uh-oh. I mean, the interest rate is astronomical, I suppose. Can I do 100,000? Okay, I could do 100,000. 100,000 is all I need. We're going to make this work, folks. Okay, stops there and there. We're then going to have stops, I guess. See, yeah, how's this going to work? I think we're going to have a couple of lines running through here. One that then serves this side of town, if you can call it that, and one that serves this side of town. So I think what I'm going to do is have it here be a bit more loop-shaped. Where's the overlap? There. So we're going to kind of do something a bit more like this. So I don't know what's happened to that road there. We've lost the textures. I need it more down this way. I think there is okay. Or maybe there is okay. And then, yeah, one here. One here. And then I guess just another one there. So that's one line. And then the next line would go this way. So one there. And then this one would come up this way. I think we might need a third one, actually. So let's just plan this out too. I'll pause the game while I do this as well, which I know you can't do in the real world, but here I need to make sure that I'm not losing more money than I need to be. Alright, where does this come out? There. So yeah, this one comes up here. And I guess we can have a little bit of opposites here. One across the top. And then one there. And I guess if I could squeeze one. Can I put one? I mean, that would work. And then it can just run through here again and then down to there. And then for this side, one there, one there, one there, one here. And then one here, 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 and then it'd loop back round. No, I kind of need one here as well. So I guess one here too. So a lot of stops. I've got to try and remember all of that in a second as well. Once we then come out of here, these lines then need to split into 3 again. So one, I guess, can just loop around this area. So say we have one there and one there. And then one could go down. I mean, I suppose 2 of them could carry on this way. Let me just be smart about this. So I want to cover this too. So I think... Oh, it's my watch vibrating on my desk. One there and one there. One there and one there. One there and one there. And then the second one... Yeah. I guess if it was to go here and here, and then here and here, and then down here somewhere they would join up into one again. Sure. And then we got to start getting clever again. So somewhere on this island there's going to be a hub. I kind of like the idea of it being near this tram stop, because it's the last one before they split. And if we do that, then we could maybe replace this road with a wider avenue that then comes down. The more I say it, the more I like it. Are you a one-way street? You are. But that's fine, because we're about to upgrade you anyway. So let's do all of this, and then here... oh, I want this one. Like this, and then here it's going to go straight down. I think it's City Skylines and Transport Fever where you can just go straight through like that. Can't do that here, annoyingly. Now, yeah, I can do that, so I can bend it round a little bit. Okay, and then this area could be perfect for bus hubs. So let's go one-way street, and we'll do it like this. Like so. Actually, is there a better way of doing it? I don't know. And I'm destroying a lot of buildings here and spending a lot of money. So I think ultimately this is how we're going to do it. Also got to check if I was to do this, it does reach, but only just. And if I do this, it doesn't reach anymore. Which actually is quite annoying. In that case, let's put you back how you were, which was this. And for this street here, we're going to have a two-way like this. And then you will have one there like that, and we'll have one there like that. That, I think, covers all bases. Yeah. Right, let's start planning out some lines. And then very quickly find out we don't have enough buses. So, I need to come up with some more. I need a different colour thing, because... Okay, that's a good one. Create new. And actually, for this, I think we're going to start building a second bus depot. And we could just have one over here somewhere, right? Why would we not do that? That would be very smart. And to be honest, it doesn't need to be massive. Electricity consumption. So this holds 90 buses. We don't need a big one, do we? When you've got this one. Where could we attach you? Here, maybe? Although I'm tempted to have a road that goes across this. So I think what I'm actually going to do is pop you there. Right. Start here. You're then going to go up to this one. And then you're going to come around like so. Yep. And then you're going to come underneath to here. And then you are going to be this one. Like that. Ah, yes. I didn't actually place any bus stops over here. So you, when you get to this road here, you're actually going to turn this way. You're going to run alongside this tram. Like that. So, this way. This way, and then you're going to terminate here, and then you're going to run back. I really hope this gamble pays off, because otherwise this series is over, because there's no way I'm going to be able to get the money back. Not a chance. So is it there, 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 and there. You're then going to go to there. Obviously we don't have any vehicles yet. Copy from the Cobalt line, because why not? Yeah, I think having little mini bus depots. I think I need to do this with the others as well. You'll see what I mean in a second. Apparently slate is a shade of blue. I don't believe it myself, but it kind of works. So, excuse me, we'll go for it. Now for the middle line. So you're going to start over here. And essentially, I guess it was this one. And then this one. Because these are all done, right? Yeah. And then this one. Underneath to here. And then you're just going to loop around this bit. And then back up into here. And do that. Oh, Christ. Oh, that was the other thing. Yeah, we need to complete more objectives. Oh, that scared the life out of me then. That's so loud. Why is that so loud? You guys probably can't hear it as loud as I can. But for me, that was really loud. Right. Actually, I think this should be the slate line. I think you should be the slate line. And then the old slate line, you should be something else. Arctic? You're not really cold, but you'll do. Sure. And then before I do the final bit... Yeah, we've got objectives down in the bottom here as well, haven't we? Which I should probably look at. From the factory to the skyscraper. Yeah, we'll come to that. I'm sure we'll come to that. This line is going to take this new road. There's going to be another one running down here, I think, because as you can see, there's basically no overlap. There's a whole area here that's just unserved. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I think you're going to have to be there and there. So it's quite an overlap, but it's fine. Right. Last line here. So you're going to start up at this end. Once you come out the depot, of course. This way. This way. This way. And then down underneath. Here. Here. And then you're going to go straight down this way. Then to here. And then down this way. To that point. And then you're going to loop back. Some of these routes, like, they feel long, but they also feel short. They don't feel like they have many stops, but I promise you, if I was to watch this from start to finish, which maybe we'll do at some point, it is quite a long... And I've actually messed this up. It is actually quite a long journey. So it's that one, it's that one. I guess we'll stop there, but then it's that one, and then it's that one. That's where I've gone wrong. I'm just looking. Should I go this way round? Hang on, folks. We'll get there in the end. There's a logic behind this, I promise. Right. Here. 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 Then over here. My thinking was these two stops are too close together. So what's the point? There we go. Now this way, straight across, this one, and then down this way. To here, and then loop around, and back. There we are, and then it's there, 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 and back to the beginning. Cool. Again, copy from Cobalt. Everything's copied from the Cobalt. And you are the stone line. Which makes me want to change Arctic again. But it's fine. It's got spruce as a shade of blue as well. Surely spruce is green. Am I crazy? Spruce is green. Right, we need 20 here, so I'm going to say 25. And I'm tempted to go for the cheapest. So we got the dry fac here, which I think actually is the one we have running already. And it's the second cheapest. The Hyaku. Is that not just haiku? I don't know. But we're not gonna mess around with that. There we go, 25 buses. While I'm messing around with all this though, I am also going to build a new bus depot up here somewhere. And shift these bus lines over to it. So all the ones that serve... So I think this island can still be served by this one. But I think the lines that start up here, so this one over here and these ones, and possibly, I think that one actually could still be served by this one. But I just feel like having a more localized bus depots is the way to go for this, and we can have them smaller as well because they've got a capacity of 90. Yeah, that's not going to work there. Could we build it over here, maybe? That looks ugly. That doesn't look much better. If I built it over here, then we're going to have it clog up. The fact that bus will have to come this way, turn around and come back as well seems a bit pointless. I mean, we could just have it off this road. Up like this. And then from this, we can have a road that does something a bit like this. It's not a bad idea. Have I really been going for 41 minutes already? My word. Right. Lapis line. So I need to remove this and this and add that. And get rid of the waypoint. Of course, because we don't need that anymore. There we go. That's the lapis line done, and then the azure line. I think you can actually have vehicles run into depots during their service, can't you? I don't know if they get maintained though. I think they just use it as a reverse point. So it's not the best solution. And then this one, which again, I have to get rid of the waypoint for. There we go. You can see the number of vehicles is now coming down rather significantly. So I think it's just going to be these three here that we're going to move like that. And if I do the maths, what's that, 14, 19. So again, if we get 25 of the dry facs, we should be okay. Service quality is awesome. The acceleration is poor, but that's fine because we're not really going for speed. The maintenance requirement is pretty good. The diesel consumption is pretty good. Why would you not get... Oh, crap. That's why, because we don't have the money for it. That's fine, though, because we don't need as many over here now. We have 50. We only need... What's that? 18, 23, 28, 37. Is it possible to move a bus? Yes. Excellent. So we are going to move you, I guess, to number 3. Are you number 3? You are number 3. Right. Move 3. Move 3. So that's 3. And then 4. 5. Whoops. Crap. Wait, I can do that. Yep. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. That drops that to 40, which is the highest, the lowest it can go. We've already got 10 here, so now we only need another 15, ideally. And I'm hoping we can afford 15. Oh, just. But this should save us money in the long term, because it means that we can have more buses running more services, because they've got less time spent running to and from the depot. It also means that, yeah, actually that's the key factor, is we've got more vehicles now that can be in service rather than running empty to and from the depot, which I'm assuming they use diesel and stuff whilst they're transporting themselves to and from the depot. We've now got buses onto this central island, bringing people to and from work, which if I get up the zones again, they're actually running through 2 different zones here. Yeah. And the tram now has more connections. So if I was to unpause this, I'm hoping... I mean, this isn't a problem, is it? What on earth is going on here? Yeah, the way that the pathfinding... not the pathfinding as such. The way the timetabling works is a little bit skew-if, I think is fair. Where are you heading to? So you're on the Lapis line. Are you based at... I don't think it actually says. Yeah, you're still based at Depot 1. So I think you're going to finish your journey and then go back? Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. But I'm really hoping this pays off. Because if not, I am screwed. Because I don't think I can take any more. Yeah, my interest rate is too high here. That's way too high. But that's partially the interest rate. But this should... I reckon this will double. And then this should start going up as well. The water bus, I think, was the biggest mistake. We do have people using it, but it is by no means profitable. Although that's more people using it. I don't know. I don't think it's profitable. That's the big issue. But yeah, there's not really an awful lot more I can do right now. And I believe, if I've done my maths correctly, let me just check. Yeah, this is the last episode of the month. So what I might do is go away and do a little bit of reading and try and find out what's the best way to make money in this game, because I seem to have forgotten. If you have any ideas yourself, as I said, feel free to drop them down below. I don't yet know, because this, as I said, goes out the last Wednesday of June. I don't yet know when I'm going to start recording July's, so there might be an episode or 2 coming up after this where I haven't taken any ideas on board yet, but you'll notice when I start reading the comments and actually instigating ideas, because obviously things will change, hopefully improve. These lines are being used, so that's good. Okay, fine. Yeah, look, blue collar workers. So you're heading to this. Yeah, we go. That was the plan. It was to get people out of work, or out of their apartment buildings, sorry, and to work. Because there's going to be a lot of houses over here, for example, where... Can I see who lives here? Show list of workers, show list of residents. You're white collar. In fact, a lot of you are white collar. I suppose this is a bad example because these are houses. If I find an apartment building... Again, they're all white collar. Where the hell do the people live who work over here? Right, you. You live in a tenement. Okay, over here. So if I was to select one of these buildings, which isn't actually covered by a line, so there's a problem. That's something that I need to look at, is getting these connected. You're connected to a line. So if I choose you, you're a blue collar worker, and you live at... Let's choose a better example. You work at a factory which is now served. So you would get the bus from here, possibly to one of these stops where you'd get on a tram. You can get to work. That's the main thing. You can get to work. I'm going to stop worrying about this now, because I feel like if I keep going, I'm never going to stop. So, thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course, if you're enjoying the series so far. And if you hit the like button and the hype option comes up, then please do press it as well. It helps me out massively. It means more people can see my stuff. And hopefully more people then... That sounded really wrong. That's not what I meant. More people can see my content. And hopefully from that, more people can then subscribe to the channel. And all of that good stuff. Besides that, drop those comments down below with ideas for future episodes, as I just said. The more the merrier. If you've got ideas on how to make money, if you've got ideas on transport links you'd like to see created. I think so far we're getting a good number of connections across the city here. I really want to focus on this area next. I really probably should be focusing on this area because we've got objectives down here, particularly connecting up to this. But I want to get as many bus lines in as possible, connecting everything up, and then we're going to start speeding things up. So what I mean by that is, you know, right now we have bus stops here and a bus stop here. So if you live here and you work here, you take this bus around. But eventually this might get replaced with, or not replaced, but there might be, just as an example, a monorail line with a station around here and then another station up here, and now it's only one stop and it's a lot quicker. But if you want to go here, you'd still take the bus. That's what I mean. But yeah, if you've got any ideas for more transport connections, then drop them down below. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. As I said, it really helps me out. Someone started mowing their lawn outside, which is less than convenient, but it's lucky that I'm wrapping things up. So again, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time. Let's get a good camera angle. I will see you soon.